No, I will not be playing The Walking Dead Destinies, but instead playing Spider-Man 2. Yet again, a gem has been dropped on our heads, hoping we get brain damage because that's truly the only people who would enjoy this project. Right away I had problems, as it was scheduled to be released on November 17th for all consoles, but the PC version was delayed until December 1st. I didn't want to wait because I was as giddy as Carl when he saw that deer in Season 2. So I decided let's take this to another level. I've played some of the worst games that have come out this year, and all of those have been on the PC, but never on the Switch. And what better way to waste money and never receive a refund than buying something from Nintendo's online shop? Before talking about the gameplay, the story, and every aspect that this game has to offer, let's begin with talking about the publisher and the developer of this game. GameMill is the publisher, which brought us the October classic Skull Island Rise of Kong, which the developers of that game, Iguana B, later stated that GameMill gave them 1 year to finish this project. You can assume and conclude that malpractice was used against this Brazilian developer of around 50 people that had never made a game like this before. It seems history is repeating itself, as Flux Games, the developer of The Walking Dead Destinies, is also a Brazilian developer and has a company size of about 50 people. Unlike the Rise of Kong video I made a month back, I'm not going to bash the developers of this game since we're now well aware of the situation going on, and I apologize for Iguana B for doing that. It's always good to know the full story, so now that we have the full context, let's see the game. Destinies revolves around The Walking Dead from Season 1 to Season 4, Episode 8. And since this is a well-known IP, spoiler warning, as there are many moments that connect to the show, even though I already showed the clip of Carl getting shot. First, let's start off with just general gameplay. How is it, and how does it feel? Well, immediately, the game shows off that this is a game of choice. We love that! So you can either stealth your way through missions, unless you have to kill all the walkers in the area, or just run in guns blazing. To be honest, you can run through many of these missions without swinging a single weapon and blasting some headies. Not in the sense of you're stealthing your way through it, but more so that you're just running and dodging your way to the very finish line that ends the mission. They provide the normal glass bottles that you can use to distract enemies, which I find to be rather boring, and move about the map along with bushes or smoke that you can hide in. You can stealthily stab the walkers' necks and one-shot them, which is great, but if you somehow get seen, grab that axe and start swinging, because these walkers grab onto you real fast. Something you notice pretty soon into the game is this heartbeat that is very loud and shows that blood's boiling. This allows you to perform a finisher with a melee weapon and heals you for a decent amount. There's a stamina system as well, so if you're swinging a ton, you will be exhausted, or if you need to dodge roll, that will also fully exhaust your stamina. Everyone loves melee combat, but what's something that people get really chubbed out for, especially in the USA? You got it, brother! Guns, firearms, piss shooters, which you see a ton of in the Walking Dead series, but specifically, let's talk about the aiming in this game. I've never seen a game have such high sensitivity when aiming. I'm on the lowest option and I can't slowly move my crosshair on an enemy, but what I can do is this.
Even further beyond!
The game does provide aim assist and you can boost that to the highest setting possible, but I want to play the game. I don't want the game to play itself. It's satisfying when you hit 3 or 4 or 5 headshots in a row and you're on a hot streak. You just feel good about yourself and it shows that you're getting better at the game. Really, that's the majority of the gameplay, but you can amplify certain aspects with the skill trees that are provided. I was genuinely surprised how many skill trees there were at the beginning, but then realized the upgrades are so minimal that you don't even notice the strength it provides. As well as some characters you don't even play as, for example, Carl, Dale, and Lori. I didn't get to use any of them, yet you can upgrade their skill trees. I put ranks in the T-Dog skill tree, then he got left behind, so those skills were lost. But lucky for you, there are so many skill point pickups in this game that they're pretty much handing them out like free candy. Not that that's a bad thing, but when I end the game with 80 skill points sitting in a bucket while all my characters are fully upgraded, it feels like they could have expanded a little bit further. The game has little depth, few mechanics, and nothing unique compared to games we've seen in the past or games that we see now. And this isn't an open world game, it's very mission and chapter based, which means you'll find these weapons in those specific missions that the game would prefer you to use. There's also healing items like painkillers, medicine, and med kits, as well as military grenades and homemade grenades, but there's no point in saving them. I had a preconceived idea about the game that you would be finding weapons and ammo and loot to bring back to your home base because that just makes sense in a survival action game. It's not that at all though. Something you would find from the early 2000s from a mechanic and gameplay standpoint. There's nothing I found to be innovative. The heart rate system, where you have to hit attacks and make kills to fill up your bar to make a finishing blow, seems to be the only surprising thing about this game. Yet we've seen finishing attacks displayed in many games over the years, so it's nothing new. We touched a little bit on how the game plays with the chapter-based missions, but let's dive a little bit further in talking about the story, characters, and missions. The story is exactly the same as the show and split into 3 different settings. The encampment of Season 1, which is a big circle of flat land with seaweed-looking grass. Herschel's farm from Season 2.
What he said. What he said.
Then the prison from Season 3. Near the end, there are missions at the governor's town of Woodbury, but it's very forgettable and looks incredibly sloppy. For example, the governor and T-Dog bring Michonne in to take a tour of the town, and during that, you will have the governor guiding you as you pass by another character model of the governor. Same with T-Dog. There were fucking 2 of the same character models just running around willy-nilly. Which is funny because I had to take this tour twice. The first time my game crashed, the Switch was really struggling through this intense game, and in both times that I took this tour, I saw the 2 Governor and 2 T-Dog models. That's when you know the QA and playtesting departments are sleeping on the job. I didn't have to do anything to recreate this mess. It's just a feature of the game. You're probably wondering though, how T-Dog was pushed into this situation. Well, originally I wanted to play the game how the devs recreated the story and wanted to give substantial choice to the player, so I decided with Merle, which ended up having T-Dog chained to the top of the building in Season 1. Basically, T-Dog and Merle just swap places and no repercussions happen. Same with Shane and Rick. I chose to kill Rick because Shane was one of the best characters early on in The Walking Dead, and he didn't get to show Carl or Lori what a great father he could be compared to that despicable Rick. Which was really funny because whoever you side with, you face the other in a boss battle. Who knew Rick Grimes was such a fucking bullet sponge?
Oh, we were brothers!
Another choice is picking between Maggie or Beth to go with Shane to the school, and I chose Maggie. If you watch the series, that was supposed to be Otis, but they just completely removed him from the game. The same scenario happens at the school. You choose between the bag of medicine that drops on the floor or to save Maggie. And I needed Shane to be as unhinged as possible. Along with all of these choices, I believe in the middle there, I got Herschel Eaton.
Ah! Oh, help me!
Sorry, Herschel. They already knew my decision. The game promises a lot of extra storytelling and branching of character lines, when really you just swap another character to take the place of another. The story was always going to be the same, but with another character model attached to it. And really it feels like there was false advertising with the trailers that were produced weeks before the release, with Merle's kindergarten and Shane going full psycho.
I'm gonna kill you. Not today, not tomorrow, but I'm gonna kill you.
Yes, they made it clear that these weren't going to be in the final cut and that these were kind of like imaginings that they had during the development process. But it gives the idea that these stories can move into surprising directions when really, that's not the case at all. If you're looking for a great game of choice that's also in the Walking Dead universe, just pick up the Telltale game. Season 1 is incredible, with the later seasons being a very decent story with many choices that have impact on the overall story, and it's 100 times better than what you'll receive with this slop of a game. After researching more and more, this game continues to surprise me, because they got many of the Walking Dead voice actors to reprise their roles in this one, and I actually did enjoy that. Continuity is a big thing when you have an IP as iconic and known as The Walking Dead, and holy hell, the voice lines are amazing and hysterical. I can't tell if they were meant to be, but every time I hear this,
That's gonna be great.
I remember how much of a meme this game really is. I do wish that John Barenthal reprised his role in this game, because it would make it 100 times better. I would just play the game just because he was in it.
No.
There's so much that you can say about this game, but also so little. It doesn't do anything new. It doesn't do anything impressive. The game's idea was interesting at the very least, because I think you could make it into an exciting twist on the series, but they obviously didn't have the time to make something more special. All of this being played on the Switch was an overall worse experience than if I had played on any other consoles or PC, because the Switch is the lowest tier when it comes to console specs. It's an old console with limited features that make these new age games entirely worse. I remember booting up Tears of the Kingdom, looking at it graphically and the frames, and I just thought, man, this would be a much better experience if this was on any other platform. Do I think the same for The Walking Dead Destinies? Absolutely not! That game will forever rest in piss with the other horrendous games that have come out this year, but luckily we have a new genre that stemmed from these piles of shit. You all know what a Souls-like or a roguelike is. Well, we're introducing Gollum-likes as well to the gaming space, and I can't wait what new age advancement will crawl out of the trash next. Woo! My blood's boiling! And if you guys really enjoyed this video, consider giving it a like, give it a comment below, and if you want to subscribe, press this little circle right here. It'll get you subscribed to the channel. Maybe you want to watch more of my stuff though. Here, there's a panel right here that you can just click on. It'll lead you straight to another video of mine. Besides that, enjoy your Sunday. I'm gonna get out of here. Maybe watch some Walking Dead. Hopefully Carl doesn't get shot again.